Hello, I'm Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. Welcome once again. I have my daughter with me, and we are in the Gettysburg National Cemetery to honor this Memorial Day of all the soldiers who fought and died here. Now, this is the section of the unknown Union soldiers that died here. There's 425 bodies buried here. Well, we're also going to be visiting a few famous graves. So if you follow us, we're going to go to a couple of them. Now, they are all buried in sections by state. So let's see, this is not trying to disrespect by stepping on the graves. I'm not sure what state this is, but we'll find out as we go. That's the way they wanted them buried in states, is the way that Willis designed this, or Wills, I'm sorry. So this is just the U.S. regulars, 138 bodies. But like I said, it's in a semicircle, and it's buried, all of them's buried by state. So we just got to go and find the right sections. See, here's Maryland, and then Minnesota. So we're looking for Ohio. This is going to be our first stop. I believe it's in this area over here. Could be wrong. Connecticut. Wisconsin. We just got to find the right states. I'm looking for New York and Ohio. New Jersey. My daughter's trying to help find New York and Vermont. I believe Ohio is back in that general directions, but we will eventually find the graves I want to show you. New Hampshire. There are some Confederates buried in here with the Union soldiers by mistake. Rhode Island. Delaware. West Virginia. Illinois. Unknown. So we will have to go into the next row and we'll go from there. Now these are all the Union bodies from the Battle of Gettysburg. These are also unknown. Now we head back. The unknowns are buried on the outside of the Maine boys, 104. And I'm sure there's a lot more bodies out there on the battlefield that have never been found. Michigan, 171 bodies. But there are there's actually 3 graves we're going to visit here this Memorial Day that we want to pay tribute to. Of course, we honor all the dead here. We wouldn't have such a great country if it wasn't for these people. And my daughter's just found New York. So now we are looking for a certain New York person.
Unknowns.
And the name is Sergeant Hummelston. So if you would like to start up at that end and work down and see if you can find it, and I'll start up at the other end and see if I can find the other one. The reason we're looking for this certain one is once we get there, I will tell you the story of this soldier. If we can find it. Of course, a lot of these graves are unknown. Sergeant Hummelson is who we're looking for. Amos Hummelson. His first name is Amos. A-M-O-S. So I am going to turn my camera off, and when we find the sergeant's grave, then we will continue. So we have found our first grave, and it's in the New York section here, and it's Sergeant A. Hummelson, Company C, Regiment 154th New York. Now the reason I'm showing you this grave is there was a famous orphanage picture that circulated throughout the United States, because when they found the Sergeant Amos, they found him holding a tintype picture of his 3 children back home. Now that's how they identified this body. He died at the edge of town. Here in Gettysburg, you can go to the fire department over on Stratton Street, and there's a marker there of where the actual area where he died. And now this picture circulated the United States after the Battle of Gettysburg and became the most famous orphanage picture that ever existed to this day. That's how his wife had seen a picture of the children and said, well, that's my children, so my husband Amos must have been killed in the line of duty. And that's how the body of Sergeant Hummelson was identified. And sad story, but true. Now the next grave we are looking for is going to be in the Ohio section,
which we still got to find.
So we got to find, and then once we find the grave in the Ohio section, then I will tell you his story. So follow us on this adventure on this fine Memorial Day. Now we are now in the Ohio section of the cemetery. This is George Nixon, Company B, Regiment 73rd. Now before I tell you his story, I want to tell you I was a reenactor myself for over 30 years, and this is a regiment that I portrayed the sergeant in, first sergeant, which is the 73rd Ohio, Company B. And I'd like to put a shout out to my friend that I miss very well. He's in heaven now, and he was the major of the company, and his name was Brandon Lytle, and he's a friend of mine, and I'd like to pay him privilege today also on this channel. Dear friend of mine, passed away very young. He's in heaven now, and I'd like to honor him this Memorial Day also, as we speak of fallen heroes. Brandon was a hero of mine. He was also in the Army and served. So this is George Nixon. He died here just over in this direction at near Tommy's Pizza, it's known, fighting in this area of Cemetery Hill. And our monument is actually for the 73rd, close to here, this general area. But the reason I'm telling his story is because this is the great-grandfather of no other than President Nixon, Richard Nixon. Yes, so this is Richard Nixon's great-grandfather, who fought for the 73rd Ohio, Company B, out of Chillicothe, Ohio. That's where he is from, and died here at Gettysburg fighting on the second day. So yes, President Nixon's great-grandfather. So now we are going over in this general area, and we are looking for a young fellow that fought in World War II, and I'll tell you his story once we find it. So follow us. Once again, we're back and we found our third person I wanted to show. This is the grave of Paul Heller. He's a private in the U.S. Marine Corps. Died October the 8th, 1942, and was born May 9th, 1927. Now, if you do the math, he was only 15 years old. He died in Guatemala in the Solomon Islands fighting the Japanese. Now, imagine 15 years old. What were you doing at the age of 15? Now, he is the youngest soldier buried here besides Civil War soldiers at this age. He's honored to be buried in here. Like I said, he's World War II. He was only 15 years old. Now, I was told that there's another famous grave here, and we are trying to find it. And so we're going to look and see if we can find that person. We might not be able to, but if we don't, I'll tell you his story. So stay with me and follow us on this adventure. Well, we was told by the groundskeeper of another grave. We was unable to find it, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But supposedly Hugh Beaumont, and famous actor, is buried here in the annex here somewhere in the World War II section. Now, he's no other than the one who played, I can't remember his first name now, but he played Beaver Cleaver's dad on Leave It to Beaver. And he's supposedly buried here. So I am going to be doing a vlog here soon in a few weeks of famous graves in Pennsylvania. And that will be a big day for me because I'll be traveling a lot. So I took a whole day of traveling, planned ahead to do that. And I'll do some research on that, and if that's true, we'll put that in part of that blog. So that does it for today on this Memorial Day. And I would like to do something special before I end this blog, and that is taps. I would like to play taps in honor of these soldiers. So this has been Uncle Jimmy with Jimmy's Train Station and Travel Adventures. I hope you've enjoyed this blog. Please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to let you know when there's new videos uploaded. So we will do this as the ending in honor of all who have died for the USA. So bear with me, and we will do that.